In the bustling streets of Babylon, gold was both a treasure and a tool. Some men struggled to grow their wealth, while others lent it wisely and prospered. Arcad, the richest man in Babylon, would now reveal the secrets of the city's gold lenders, how to borrow safely, lend prudently, and make gold work for you without risking your future. The lessons were simple, yet their mastery separated the wealthy from the rest. In the bustling streets of Babylon, gold was both a treasure and a tool. The importance of wise lending. Babylon thrummed with life. Merchants shouted their wares, artisans shaped clay and bronze, and the air was heavy with the scent of spices and ambition. Yet amidst this bustling city, gold flowed unevenly. Some held it tightly, while others sought it desperately. It was here that Arcad gathered the citizens once more, ready to teach the secrets of borrowing and lending. Friends, Arcad began, his voice calm but firm. Wealth is not only gained by earning and saving, it is also guided by the principles of lending. The man who lends gold unwisely risks both his fortune and his peace of mind. The man who borrows without prudence endangers his future. To prosper, one must understand both sides of the coin, the giver and the taker. He gestured to a young merchant in the crowd. Consider a gold lender. If he gives his gold to any man who asks, without study or counsel, he may lose it entirely. Yet if he chooses wisely, assessing character, purpose, and ability to repay, his gold multiplies while helping others. Lending wisely is an art that ensures both growth and security. Arcad's voice softened, drawing the listeners closer. Many men fear lending because of risk, but risk is not always the enemy. The true danger lies in carelessness, in giving gold without understanding the borrower's character or the plan for its use. The wise lender studies the man and the purpose, and lends only where prudence promises safety. A laborer asked timidly, Master Arcad, how can we know who is trustworthy? Arcad nodded thoughtfully. Observe him. Listen to his words. Watch his actions. Seek counsel from those experienced. Do not lend to rash, greedy, or idle men. Lending is a partnership. Your gold is your servant. Entrust it only to those who respect it and have the means and intention to use it wisely. Even a single coin lent unwisely can lead to loss. Yet lent prudently, it can multiply and return with gratitude. He paused, letting the crowd absorb the lesson. Lending is also an opportunity. By giving gold to a worthy man, you enable enterprise, growth, and prosperity. Your gold works for you while helping others succeed. In Babylon, the wise lender sees his wealth increase while strengthening the city's economy, building trust, and creating networks of opportunity. Arcad's voice grew stronger, resonating across the hall. Borrowing wisely is equally important. Gold borrowed should be used for enterprise, for ventures that grow and multiply it. Borrowing for extravagance or frivolity brings only sorrow. Every coin borrowed carries responsibility. Misuse it, and you lose not only gold, but reputation and opportunity. He leaned forward, voice almost conspiratorial. Remember this, gold lent or borrowed is like water. It flows naturally, and those who guide its path with care and prudence find that it returns multiplied. Those who mishandle it through greed, folly, or negligence see it vanish as quickly as it appeared. Arcad concluded, his tone steady and inspiring. The secrets of the gold lenders are simple yet profound. Lend only to the worthy, borrow only for enterprise, and let every coin work diligently. Gold, wisely guided, becomes a faithful servant. Gold, carelessly entrusted, becomes a master that punishes the careless. Master these principles, and your wealth will grow securely and steadily. And so, as the citizens of Babylon reflected on Arcad's words, they understood that gold is not merely earned and saved. It must also be guided through lending and borrowing with wisdom. Those who mastered this art ensured that wealth continued to grow, not just for themselves, but for the prosperity of all the city. The rules of safe borrowing. Babylon's streets were alive with commerce. Yet among the bustling markets, the whispers of debt and opportunity intertwined. Arcad stood before the citizens once more, prepared to teach the lessons that would ensure their gold worked for them safely, whether lending or borrowing. Friends, when he began, voice steady and commanding, many men fear borrowing as though any debt is a chain around their necks. Yet borrowing wisely is not only safe, it can create opportunity. The key is understanding the rules, principles that protect your purse and your honor. He paused, letting his words sink in. The first rule of safe borrowing: borrow only for enterprise or for a purpose that will increase your ability to repay. Borrowing to grow your trade, to acquire tools, or to invest in skills is prudent. Borrowing for pleasure or extravagance is dangerous. Debt for frivolity consumes both gold and opportunity, leaving the borrower weaker, not stronger. A young craftsman spoke hesitantly. "Master Arcad, how much gold is safe to borrow?" Arcad smiled. "Borrow only what you can repay from the income the borrowed gold creates. Never exceed your means. A wise borrower plans the repayment carefully and ensures that every coin borrowed works diligently to produce value. Remember, borrowed gold is never truly yours. It must be returned with care and diligence." He gestured to the crowd, emphasizing the next point. Second, understand the terms. Know the lender, the interest, and the conditions. A man who ignores the rules of borrowing risks his future. The law of Babylon and the honesty of lenders protect those who act prudently, but ignorance is costly. Study every detail and ensure you are capable of fulfilling your obligations. Arcad's voice softened, drawing listeners closer. Third, keep promises. Honor every debt as if it were sacred. The man who repays faithfully gains not only a reputation of trust, but also access to greater opportunities. The lender will gladly extend gold again to the responsible borrower, creating a cycle of prosperity. But fail and doors close, opportunities vanish, and trust is broken. He leaned forward, voice now carrying the weight of experience. Fourth, plan your enterprise carefully. Every borrowed coin should be assigned a purpose, a plan for growth, and a timetable for repayment. Avoid haste and ensure that your efforts are guided by knowledge and skill. Borrowing is not a shortcut. It is a tool for the disciplined and the wise. Arcad's eyes swept the hall. Finally, learn from every venture. Each loan, each debt repaid or mismanaged, teaches lessons. The wise borrower grows in skill, judgment, and prudence. The careless repeat mistakes, losing not only gold but trust, reputation, and opportunity. Borrow wisely, act with purpose, and learn continuously. He straightened, his voice firm and inspiring. Remember, friends, borrowing is a privilege, not a right. Borrow to grow, not to squander. Repay faithfully. Respect the trust placed in you. Let every coin borrowed work diligently, and you shall build both wealth and honor. Misuse borrowed gold, and you risk both your purse and your reputation. As Arcad finished, the citizens reflected on the lesson. Borrowing was not to be feared, nor was lending to be reckless. Gold, when guided by knowledge, prudence, and purpose, could multiply safely. Those who followed these rules ensured that wealth continued to flow, building opportunity and security not only for themselves, but for all Babylon. The secrets of the gold lenders. Babylon's market square was alive with the hum of trade, yet behind the bustle lay a world few truly understood. The world of gold lenders. Arcad, the richest man in Babylon, now revealed the principles that separated wise lenders from the careless and ensured that gold continued to work for both prosperity and security. Friends, Arcad began, voice steady and commanding, the first secret of the gold lenders is discernment. Not every man who asks for gold deserves it. The wise lender studies character, ability, and purpose. He does not lend to the careless, the greedy, or the idle. Gold entrusted to such men is lost, along with trust and opportunity. Lending requires judgment, patience, and prudence. He paused, letting the crowd absorb the words. The second secret is security. Even a worthy borrower should provide assurance, whether in the form of collateral, guarantees, or clear agreements. A loan without safeguards is like a seed scattered on barren soil. It may sprout, but it will not endure. Protect your gold, and it will continue to multiply. A young merchant asked, Master Arcad, but what of interest, or the reward for lending? Arcad smiled knowingly. Interest is the reward for the lender's risk and for the service of making gold available. Yet it must be fair and reasonable. Excessive interest burdens the borrower and breeds resentment. Too little diminishes the lender's security. Balance is the key. The lender earns not only profit but also trust, which opens doors to greater opportunity and stability. He continued, the third secret is patience. A lender must allow time for gold to work. Do not demand repayment prematurely, nor allow haste to guide judgment. A wise lender understands that ventures take time to yield returns. Impatience can destroy both wealth and reputation. Gold grows steadily for those who wait with prudence and watchfulness. Arcad's voice softened, drawing listeners closer. The fourth secret is guidance. Many lenders fail because they give gold without counsel. Wise lenders advise the borrower, sharing experience and insight. They ensure that borrowed gold is used for enterprise, skill, or production, not folly or extravagance. Gold, like water, must be guided along channels that yield growth. A skilled lender directs its flow. He raised his hand, letting the lesson resonate. Finally, remember that lending is both a privilege and a responsibility. Gold is not a toy. It is a tool for building prosperity. The wise lender multiplies his wealth while helping others achieve success. The careless lender risks everything for fleeting gain. Those who master the secrets of lending find that gold flows steadily, safely, and abundantly. Arcad's gaze swept the hall. In Babylon, the most prosperous men were not those who hoarded gold, nor those who lent carelessly. They were those who combined judgment, prudence, guidance, and patience. Gold lent wisely brought wealth to both lender and borrower, strengthened trust, and ensured the city's prosperity. He paused, voice gentle yet firm. Learn these secrets, friends. Study character, secure your loans, practice fairness, advise the borrower, and exercise patience. In this way, your gold will not only grow, but also work to create opportunity and prosperity for others. Lending is both an art and a science, mastered by those who respect these principles. And so as the sun cast long shadows over Babylon, the citizens understood the hidden power of the gold lenders. They realized that gold, when guided wisely, could multiply and endure. Lending was not merely the act of giving. It was a responsibility, a skill, and a path to greater wealth and security for both the giver and the receiver. Applying the lessons of the gold lenders, as the sun dipped low over Babylon, casting golden reflections on the walls of the city, Arcad addressed the citizens one final time in this chapter. They had learned how to save, borrow, and lend. Yet he knew that understanding alone was not enough. Wealth required application, discipline, and prudence. Friends, Arcad began, his voice calm but compelling. You now understand the secrets of the gold lenders. Discern character, secure your loans, lend with fairness, guide the use of borrowed gold, and exercise patience. But these principles must be applied daily. Knowledge without action is like a purse without gold. It is empty and useless. He paused, letting the lesson settle. Observe the borrower. Understand his purpose. Ensure that every coin lent is assigned to enterprise, not frivolity. Lending is not merely giving, it is entrusting your gold to work diligently, multiplying wealth for both parties. A single careless loan can undo months, even years, of prudent saving and investment. A young merchant asked, Master Arcad, how do we protect ourselves while still helping others? Arcad smiled knowingly. By combining judgment with diligence, study the borrower's character, require security, and guide the enterprise. Ensure that the gold is used wisely, and watch as it returns multiplied. Lending is an opportunity to grow both wealth and trust. The man who masters these practices finds that his purse grows steadily and his reputation strengthens in equal measure. He continued, voice firm and inspiring. Equally important is the wisdom of borrowing. Borrow gold only for purposes that will increase your ability to repay. Invest in skill, trade, or enterprise. Avoid debt for pleasure or vanity. Respect every coin borrowed, repay faithfully, and learn from each experience. Borrow wisely and your reputation, opportunities, and wealth will all flourish. Arkad's eyes scanned the crowd. Consider the most prosperous men of Babylon. They were not reckless, nor were they hoarders. They understood that gold is a servant, to be guided with care, knowledge, and prudence. They lent to the worthy, borrowed with purpose, and watched as their wealth multiplied steadily, enduring both prosperity and hardship. He leaned closer, voice softening to draw attention. Remember this, friends. Gold that works diligently for you is the product of wisdom, judgment, and action. The principles of lending and borrowing are tools to make your wealth grow securely. Neglect them, and even gold earned with effort can vanish. Apply them faithfully, and you will see your purse grow, your enterprise thrive, and your opportunities expand. Arkad straightened, voice carrying across the hall. The lessons of the gold lenders are simple, yet profound. Apply them daily. Guide your gold with prudence. Borrow with purpose. Lend with discernment. Teach these lessons to your children, and the prosperity of Babylon will endure. Those who master these principles secure not only their wealth, but their peace of mind, their reputation, and the prosperity of future generations. And so the citizens of Babylon learned the wisdom of lending and borrowing, understanding how gold could work safely and multiply when guided with prudence and purpose. Yet wealth alone is not enough to protect a city or a life. In the next chapter, we explore the walls of Babylon, uncovering the lessons of preparation, security, and protection that ensure prosperity endures even in the face of danger.